think my biggest fight in racing is myself. Because I care what people think of me and my success. I think the only time I feel control, literally when I'm in a race car, because there's nothing else. And something that I can't control has gone wrong. And I think, well, I didn't even get a chance to save it.
Well, hello everybody, welcome along to Donington Park. We've got the opening round of the Focus Cup Championship.
50 de la tarde, tiempo de la Ciudad de México.
I think people fantasize about winning in the morning and how they're going to do it. But it will never be that way. No matter what you think of, it will never be that way. And I think that's what people do. I've done it a few times. As nice as the thoughts are, you need to kind of get rid of them in the morning, because you don't want to be thinking of that when you need to be reacting quickly. You only need the important stuff in your head to do well. There are so many uncontrollable features in racing. The more uncontrollable it is, the more entertaining it is. The danger to racing for me is not performing well. I don't think about the actual physical danger too much, because if you think about it too much, it's going to be overwhelming. I did enjoy other sports, but I don't think anything clicked as much as racing. I think I started liking it and putting it before anything else, probably when I was 6 or 7. Because I couldn't control what was happening to me, I wanted to race. Because it's that extra challenge.
Come on, now get to the finish line, pal! This Ford F350, now it's one truck that really knows how to kick out the jams.
My dad had an Xbox, the original one, and he got a game called Midtown Madness, and it was literally all about just racing around either Paris or Washington in these cars. Being a kid where obviously you can't drive, but you're always in a car, you kind of get that rush of like, I feel like I could go faster, even though you know you can't. Or no, you think you can at the time, but started watching F1 on the TV. I think it was Lewis Hamilton's first year of F1, 2007. That's when I really started watching it and just kind of got into it from there. And I thought I was cool enough that I could play the video games at the same time, like Midtown Madness, Forza, Burnout 3 was a great one. Again, they're kind of all arcadey games, but they're a lot of fun. And that kind of really set the precedent of, this is what I really enjoy. And again, it was way before you could, anyone could call it like sim racing. It was just car games with the pedal and wheel. There was no sim racing or anything like that. That's where I really started to put some time and hours in, to where I was like joining championships and winning them. That's when it was like, okay, this is definitely what I want to do. When I was growing up, my body was just falling apart. Not literally, obviously, but like, I constantly felt like I was breaking. There was always something going wrong. I was in and out of hospital all the time, still am, I guess. So as long as I can remember, I knew there was something that wasn't right. I woke up to go to school, in secondary school, year 8, just before Christmas. It was about November. I woke up with a dry mouth, wanted to go and get some water. My legs felt tingly. I was like, that's a bit weird. I thought, oh, it's just cold. Flew the bed cover off. Couldn't really like move my legs without them hurting. So I flung myself around, like put myself and then flung myself around. And as soon as I put my feet on the floor, pain shot right through me, and I was out completely. And then I had to scramble myself back up onto my bed, and my legs were just, and my back, in fact, as well, were just in so much discomfort and pain that I couldn't actually move them or put any weight on them or touch them. And yeah, I think I didn't know what to do. We did 111, went to outpatients, and the first doctor that saw me, he said his first instinct was gout. And I was thinking, well, there's no reason a 12-year-old should have gout. So he was like, I don't know. That was it for months. It was mainly just constant agony and not knowing how to be comfortable. Because I thought, oh, if I lay back in bed, I'll be fine. But then my legs were touching the bottom of the bed and that hurt too much. So then I thought, well, what if I raise them? But then if I raise them, it still hurts underneath if I'm touching them. I couldn't lay down because my back was done in. I couldn't sit up because I couldn't support myself for that long. We did go to the doctors, and the doctor who saw me was like, I've never seen anything like this before. You need to get yourself to the hospital now. I'm calling them and telling them it's urgent. You need to be looked at. And then I pretty much lived in hospital for a few months.
And what were they doing and saying to you in hospital?
It was all in my head. It was all mental. I'm thinking it all up. I'm making it all up. There's no way that this should be happening. And then I started giving up, to be honest. I thought, well, this is it for the rest of my life. However long it'll be, or short, because I didn't know what was going wrong with me. In my head, I was thinking my body is on a shutdown process. I thought that would be my life, living in a small room until I rot away or die. So I think I was way below rock bottom. There was someone, I believe, at Sheffield Children's Hospital that knew someone at Great Ormond Street in London who they heard about this thing that it could be. So we got an appointment with them. Within 2 hours, they were like, yeah, we think we've got CRPS. So CRPS is complex regional pain syndrome. Basically, it's to do with like your back and your pain receptors. It's constantly sending them out all over your body. For a year leading up to that, they were doing physiotherapy with me anyway, to the point where I could support myself on crutches, but I only could do like 15 to 20 steps. I had to learn how to roll my feet again. I had to remind myself that it's left, right, left, right, left, right. So then they got me from that point to the first 2 weeks being able to walk unaided, so without anything around me. Not very far. I mean, maybe like 20 meters or something, and then that'd be way too much for me to cope with. But it started with just simply, as bonkers as it sounds, running a feather up and down my leg to get myself back to used to things touching my legs.
And you're scared that it could happen again?
Yeah. Every day. I lost motivation for everything. I think through that first year. I think it was honestly the constant being told I can't do stuff, or that I won't actually be able to amount for anything or be successful. I kind of always want to go back and say, like, I told you so, I can do it, and prove them wrong. Everyone dreams. How cool would it be to actually make it a reality? When time gets tough and you want to give up, that's when you have to push through the most. My school friend, Todd, was just like, oh, should we go go-karting? So yeah, I was thinking that'd be a lot of fun. I haven't done it in a long time, and I'd like to see where I sit with it. I was a bit scared with the vibrations, because every time I got into a car, I could feel everything, even like the pebbles under the tyres and when it lost grip or when it was too much grip or anything like that. I could feel it through my legs. We turned up and all these people were in full suits, helmets, custom, everything like that, and we just were doing rentals. There's no quality, it was just kind of where you sat in the championship, where you started at the grid. So obviously we were right at the back and we ended up coming 1 and 2. So that kind of gave me a bit of a push and be like, yeah, I can definitely do this. Pretty much in parallel, we're going go-karting and doing sim racing, like sim racing seriously, like joining leagues and stuff like that. I would spend hours just doing so much practice because I wanted to be the best. I'd learn how people would defend or how people would attack. What I don't like about their racing style and what they might not like about mine. So that's when I started hitting the gym more, losing the weight, because I lost like 11.5 stone in 10 months, just doing cardio. And then obviously weight training. That was my day in, day out. Wake up, go to work, go to the gym, come home and do some racing. It gave me the feel of control again. And that's when I started having the opportunities of people saying, would you like to come and race our real life car? It was a very overwhelming feeling to have someone come up to you and go, we want you. We know there's other people out there, but we want you to come and do it. I felt like I made it. I felt like I was, like I'd achieved everything I wanted to achieve before I'd even got into the car. First time in a car, race car, was at Three Sisters, and it was these people who I met through the karting society at Hallam. It was very basic. It's just a small little car. They've been tracked out, and basically we just got on track and we started going around, and then after that, that's when it kind of sunk in, and I was happy with everything. Was like, okay, I'm going to go on a racetrack with a race car for the first time. This is pretty cool, but I need to make sure I'm not over panicking. And then it came to the end of the day, and I was taking some of the other guys around, teaching them how to do it after, so it was quite a special moment. My first race was actually a different car on a different track, and it was it wasn't close either. It was in Wales in a MX-5. It was scary because it was the first time I'd actually been in a race, so I didn't know anything that was going on really. It was a new track that I didn't really know all too well in a car that I'd never driven before. It's rear-wheel drive, double the horsepower, less to protect you because it had no roof, just a roll bar and stuff like that. So again, I was nervous because I don't want to ruin anyone else's race. I'm there to just get a bit of experience and see what I can do. When I came into the park firmware, which you basically park up your car, you're not allowed to touch it, you're not allowed to change it. They have to check over the cars that they're in legal limits. And I sat there for a minute and I got overwhelmed with how happy I was that I'd done a full race. And I didn't know where I finished. I didn't know where I finished at that point, or the penalty that came in, or anything like that. But I had a little moment to myself, I guess, and just sat there. I kind of thought about all the times when I was told that you're never going to be able to do it. You'll never be able to do a race, let alone do well in one or anything like that. But then also I was thinking, less than 10 years ago, I was told that I'd never be able to walk again or do anything, and yet here I am, absolutely hammering a car around a track, actually doing okay. And then there was people there who were thinking about the Mexico trip. I met the guys who wanted to do it. They were racing the same car as I was, but in a different championship, but on the same day. And they were just looking for drivers for it because they needed 3 others. I didn't have any expectations really. I wasn't told that I was being thought of for it or anything like that. I was just told that they're here. They might ask questions, they might not, but you know, whatever. And with less time in the car than the person I was racing with, so he had more experience in the car, I was getting better lap times and more consistent. And then after the race, that's when they came up to me and said, look, we really want you to come with us. Can you, and do you want to? And I think within half an hour I said yes, because I didn't want anyone else to take the spot. So the 24-hour race around the Mexican Grand Prix city circuit.
Welcome to Mexico. Tell me your feelings.
Feel very excited. Yeah, we're in a great position thanks to this man here.
So I went with Aiden and Jordan. So they're like my two. Like Jordan's like since primary school, Aiden since secondary school. We've all been friends. I think we're all very excited that we're going, and it kind of felt not real, especially when in the airport. And I didn't have anywhere to put my helmet, so I had to carry my helmet around, which I felt awkward doing. So I got a lot of stares and looks at Heathrow about a helmet, and got stopped a few times by security asking why. Surprisingly, it went quite quick, the flight over. You know, it was like 13 hours or something like that. It went really quickly. And then by the time we landed, it was the morning. It was the morning after we left, and it was, oh my God, we're here.
A los últimos momentos antes de que venga el...
I was raring. I was really excited and raring to go. Like, I could not wait. And all I could think about was just getting in the car and racing it for the first time, or driving it for the first time, testing it out. The morning of the race, so we woke up, had a bit of breakfast. We discussed the plan of what we're going to do in the race. So who's replacing who at the pit stops, and what fuel we're taking on, and when are we replacing tyres, and if this happens, come in, if this doesn't happen, you know, whatever. Thinking of scenarios, so if anything did happen, like I said, you're not thinking about it, it's just, you're just doing it and you're saving time. So it's supposed to be Jake, Eric, me, and then Ben. And then when we got there, it was kind of like game on. But there was a massive parade, like a huge parade down the main strip. So all the cars were lined up like Le Mans style, and loads of people were on the straight, like fans who were watching, and the TV guys and everything coming to interview people, and they chatted to us. No one knows who I am. I'm just a bloke from England, and these guys are coming to want to talk to us on their TV show about the thing, and some of the fans want to come and talk to us and get pictures with us, and yeah, it was crazy. I never thought I'd be in that position. But the doors it would open, if I could say I've won a 24-hour race in Mexico. Completely different conditions to the UK. Boiling heat, so dry, yet altitude as well. Mexico City's one of the highest cities with a racetrack, I believe. And that you're working with people who might not necessarily speak English, but you're still working as a team with them. We had a pretty good chance that we thought we could win.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pilotos a sus autos, vámonos. Vemos de fondo cómo están amarrándose a los coches. 80 vehículos, los TCR. En tiempos competitivos nos enseñó que están saliendo las cosas. Los plateados, Miguel Espinosa de los Monteros. Para el 1 de Apix.
So Jake started the race. He was in an hour and 20 minutes.
Vamos con el 80, porque no ha habido una bandera amarilla que lo remolque. O sea, es increíble las velocidades y cómo el 79, contacto, y ahí llegó la amarilla, señores, la invoqué. Tenemos golpe entrando saliendo de la recta del óvalo. Embistieron el 30 de Pepe Maqueo. 3 coches que quedaron en ese escape. Doble bandera amarilla, damas y caballeros. Se despabiló, reaccionó a lo que le pasó. No sucedió nada que se pueda resolver.
yellow flag, a safety car. We heard over the radio that Jake had damage. We thought he was all going to come and pit in, and then we're going to change to Eric, and he was going to do a bit of a longer, tiny bit longer stint. I was going to do a tiny longer stint, and then Ben was going to do a tiny longer stint, and then that would have caught us back up into the order, trying to avoid to do an extra pit stop.
Gazoo Racing, el 53 de Pro Rally Mothers, Gerardo Rejón Sr., misión cumplida, entrega el coche, le va a tocar.
5 to 10 minutes passed, so that's like a lap and a half. So we knew he should have been in by now, and he wasn't in. And I was talking with Jordan in the pit, saying what was going on. I was facing Jordan, and Jordan was facing out towards the pit lane. And he goes, "Why is Jake walking? Where's the car?" As soon as he said that, my heart sank, and I turned around and thought, "Oh, God, this is it. This is over."
Tremendo contacto en la recta, doble bandera amarilla, hasta puede ser bandera roja. El auto.
Someone else hit another car, then that car hit us. Meters in the wrong place, wrong time, wrong place. I tried to stay optimistic because I thought it's an hour and a bit into the race. There's still 22 and a bit hours left. If it is damaged, we could probably get it back on track here within 2 hours or so. Obviously, it will be a lot of laps down. In the 24-hour, that is not the end of the world.
Entraba por gasolina, decía Panchito Name, voy a tener que.
They were inspecting the car. And then about an hour after that, that's when they said, "No, we're done." I didn't actually do any racing laps. And it's stuff you can't control, and I get it, but it's still hard to control your emotions when you put so much time and effort into it. They even got to finish the race, which is the bit that I think hurts the most. It's the same stuff with waking up, not being able to walk. It's not in my control, it just happened, and it ruined me. Obviously, it's not as extreme because it's just racing, but it is my passion. And then when I put it on the TV to watch the F1, it all came back. I still think success is not giving up and giving it your best, or giving it my best. But ultimately, to do my best, I want to be winning. And I think people very much underestimate how much mental and physical strength you need to have. Bigger and better things keep approaching, and I know I can do well. I just need to keep pushing. And I think as soon as I stop pushing, even for a moment, it's going to be like 3 steps back to 1 step forward. You're always chasing to be better. I could win a championship, I could win races. I wouldn't stop. I'd be thinking, right, okay, well, why wasn't I faster on that lap? Or why at the end of the stint was I feeling fatigued? Or, you know, I could have done this overtake, but why didn't I? Or why didn't I complete it? Stuff like that. There is no end. It's just, it's always there to better yourself, I think. I'd say racing is simply just my life.